Hello and welcome back to my channel, Bookish Lady Night, where we get a look behind the book. Today I am joined by the lovely Bella Rivers. She is the author of several books, including Never Let You Go, Return to You, and her latest release, Friends Don't Kiss. So I am very excited to chat with her. I am very excited for you all to get your hands on these books, and be sure to tune in as we discuss her amazing career. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm very excited.
Of course. So, how do you feel about having another book out in the world for us to enjoy?
It's kind of surreal and great and also normal because these characters have been with me for such a long time that I'm like finally sharing them with the world. So it's a mix of everything. Yeah, so it's a lot. It feels good now. Yeah. Yeah.
So, you said they've been with you for a while. So, were they an idea that you had on the back burner for a long time? How did they come about?
So I have been writing this series for a while now. I held off on releasing it until last year, but these characters were part of the town from the beginning, and I always knew they were meant for each other. So that's why I'm saying, they were in my mind. They've been with me for a while as secondary characters having their story. So yes, so they kind of have been inhabiting me for a while.
That's usually one of my questions is if there's been like a side character or characters that are constantly like me, me, me. And so is that them for you?
There are so many. I wish I could write faster because there are so many that I'm putting on the back burner, and I'm like, your turn will come. I know your person. Hold off, because these guys need their story too. And I try to make it so that it's a natural progression for the reader to go from one couple to the next.
Yeah.
But I can't help the fact that these other characters are there. They're doing something. There's something weird going on, or there's something that someone that is special to them, and I can't write their story yet because it needs to mature and it needs to make sense in the continuity of the whole series. So it's
Yeah.
an open-ended series. I don't have an end planned yet. So it's a world that has a lot of people in it, and for now that world is where I like to live. So
Oh, it's
yeah.
always fun. I'm always like there in your mind. You're like, take a number, take a seat. It's like the DMV. Like you wait your turn. I'll get
Yes.
there when I get there. So I really like that. So, what initially sparked the idea for this series for you?
So that is an interesting question because I initially had set this series in a different country.
Okay.
I had set it in France, which I have lived in France for many years. And then I realized it was really hard for me to kind of convey the cultural differences I didn't want it to become too much of a like social commentary on a specific country. I didn't want to have to get lost into descriptions or explanations. I write in English, so my main market is the United States, and I didn't want to need to get bogged down in explanations, and so it was getting too heavy. It was getting too much, and so I decided, okay, I'm going to take the same story, same people, just pose it to where I live, which is I live in Vermont. It's full of small towns, and let's just make everybody's life easier, and let's just focus on these characters and their story. It's not so much about a different country. That's not what I was trying to do.
Um,
So I guess the setting in France, I had a couple specific villages in mind, was very romantic and things like that. So that's probably why I started with that, because the setting inspired me. But as my writing progressed, I realized like really the characters were more interesting, and any setting really would work. And I kind of got a little bit both lazy and inspired by by just moving everybody to Vermont where I live, and let's just keep it simple so I can really narrow down on the characters. So that's what happened. Does that answer your question?
yes, it does. Was there a scene or a moment in one of the stories, and if you can tell us which book and which character, so you don't spoil it for us necessarily, or if you can, that you were writing it and you were just laughing out loud yourself as you're writing
There are a lot. Like actually, like just this morning, I was laughing in the book I'm currently writing, laughing at the screen. I'm like, if anybody enjoys this book, it'll certainly be me. I like, let me think. I think Friends Don't Kiss has a lot of funny moments, especially in the when the small town gets in the middle and tries to orchestrate things. It gets pretty unwieldy and funny and messy. Yeah. I also loved in The Promise of You when the bear comes and they're sleeping outside at night and they have a bear moment. Yeah.
Love that. I love that.
Oh, Return to You also has really fun moments with the cat. I guess every time a pet is involved, it's gonna be fun. Well, not that bears are pets, but like, who knows? Maybe. Yes.
It would be funny because you're like, be quiet. It's not like trying to like manage how you're gonna get away from the bear. That could be really funny, especially if one is like a personality and like, we're gonna do it this way, and they're like, no, let's do it this way. And it's just this battling.
Yeah.
So that's great. So out of your characters, who has been the hardest main character for you to write?
I think any character is hard to write until I've had like a little sit down session with them and I try to figure out where they're coming from. So I don't know if I have any one that was the hardest, but I know that in my process, if I'm blocked, it's because I don't know well enough. I haven't gone deep into their wounds and whatever trauma they've been carrying. And not that my characters or my stories, they're not very, they don't have more. No, they don't have more trauma than any normal person who's been through childhood.
Yeah.
It's just like, but until I understand them, and sometimes I do have just like interviews that I interview them on paper and they talk back. And so that's more about like, yeah, I need to get through that process of really knowing them. And then it's much easier to write. I don't think there's anyone that was harder.
Are you more of a planster or pantser? So panner, like, let me start that again. A plotter, a pantser, or a combo of the two?
I'm a combo. I would love to be a plotter. It is not happening so far. I just do my best work when I'm just pantsing with a general direction. Like, we know where we're going, but let's find out how you guys are going to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you have an idea for the couple, do you more see the couple, or you see a scene or a circumstance that happens to them, or maybe the plot twist, and that's where you like start off?
It's the meet cute kind of. I'm trying to go through. Yeah, the meet cute is really what is kind of like that for me. The direction we're gonna go. I'm not sure for my creative process. It's the meet cute. Is it really? I would have to think through all of the stories. Is it really is that moment a really defining moment for the characters? I'm not sure, but like for me, that's what sets off the story. Yeah.
Was there one of the side characters' stories that really took you by surprise when you were writing it?
Side characters. That's a good question.
Yeah. They all just kind of come.
I'm sorry?
Do they just kind of come more organically?
Yes. Right. Well, they do. A lot of the revelations are kind of organic as I'm writing it, and I have this spark of idea, and this is fun, and yeah, we're going with that. Yeah.
On the side, so sorry if I'm like looking back and forth.
Yeah.
I have two screens. So this is kind of a fun question. So out of your main male characters, which would you date? Which would you marry, and which one would you probably say no thanks, kick to the curb?
Okay. I would probably have a reverse harem, honestly.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. They're all great and different and complementary. I think Justin would be a very fun date. Okay. Justin from The Promise of You. Chris makes the best coffee. They're all great in bed. I don't know what to tell you. Like,
just give it a chance.
Yeah. Who would I marry? Second Chance. My actual story is Second Chance, so I would marry Ethan for sure. Yeah. All
right, so this is for your female characters. Who would be your best friend? Who would be your roommate? And who would you take with you on a road trip?
So on a road trip, I would take Kiara probably. She's like full of life and spunk. Best friend would be Grace. Like, she's like the quiet one. She's always there, always showing up for people. And then roommate, who am I missing? Chloe and Alex. I don't know. Alex is probably fun. Chloe has a cat, so why not?
So do you consume any kind of art when you're writing, be it music or visual art that helps you in your writing craft?
Not really. Not at the moment that I'm writing. When I'm writing, it's either quiet or I just put on some like those focus music that go on for 9 or 10 hours, and it's just beats and random music just to help me focus. That really helps a lot. Other than that, the book I'm currently writing, the characters, they both love fish, so I've been listening to some fish quite a bit. But I don't really seek it out. Probably something I should consider. But I just like to take walks around. I live on the outskirts of a small village. I just like to walk around, and it's more about being in nature that inspires me more. Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
art in nature with
Yes.
flowers and all the
Yes.
things around it, so it's just in living color.
Yeah.
So, what started your writing journey? Did you always want to be a writer?
So I wanted to be a writer when I was a child, and then I figured I had nothing interesting to say. So I had different adventures, different job adventures. And then I did write something very, very different about and self-published it about 15 years ago. It was a thriller, financial thriller. Anyway, it was very complex, but I liked it. And then I really didn't have the time, the energy. I had a lot going on in my personal life after that one. So I just put that aside. And then when COVID happened and I was realizing, I might die, and what are the regrets that I have in life? And I was just kind of going through my checklist, and I'm like, the one thing that I didn't do is like, I wanted to become a writer and I did not. And so in 2020, I'm like, I'm doing this. And I had always been writing for my job before, but not fiction. And like I said, I had written that book, so I knew I could do it. So I was like, why am I not doing this? This would be my one regret if I were to die in 3 months.
That's a
That's
good, like, eye-opening moment.
weird. It's kind of weird when I say it, but that's it's like
How
that's
did you get through that?
so I did it. Yeah. Yeah.
So, have you been celebrating your milestone?
I don't really celebrate my milestones. I'm very harsh on myself. I'm always like, I could have been better. I had something else to do. I hear people, I'm like, they have champagne or a pedicure, whatever. Like, I should be one of these people, but I'm not one of them. Not yet.
Do something small, just because
Right.
it's such a huge accomplishment.
Yes, you're right. Actually, for the release of Friends Don't Kiss, I just did nothing, which is for me a celebration. Which is for me a celebration because like I can't just sit and do nothing. And I was like, I'm just gonna do some yoga and just sit in the garden.
Really taking a
Yeah.
mental break, care day for yourself. I like that. But yeah,
Yeah.
definitely do something about, like, celebrating you. It's a huge accomplishment to write a book. It's a lot.
Yes, it's true. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
indie authors, oh my goodness, you're like all the hats.
Yes. And I feel like there's always it's never finished. Like there's one point where you're like, okay, this book is going out now. But really, in all honesty, it could be like so much better. I could have done this, I could have done that. So I think that's where this feeling of like, what am I even celebrating comes from. It's like I'm just like now, it's almost like a child. You're like you send them to college and you're like, are you really prepared? We'll find out.
Yeah, I can see that. I definitely can see that.
So I think that's where my lack of celebration maybe comes from. But thank you for the question. I will think about it a little more.
I think you need to do that because it's such a big
Yeah.
thing. So when you make a character, do you have like a mood board or something that you use visually with these characters? I know you said you interviewed them.
Yeah, I interview them like on paper, like we talk back and forth. No, I don't do visuals. I have a vague visual of who they are, but I'm not really attached to I don't do mood boards. I don't do those types of things. Yeah.
Has there been a trope that you haven't written yet that you'd like to?
Oh, I'm sure. I am considering doing a runaway bride and a surprise baby.
Love both of those.
Yeah, but it's not the same character. These I'm considering. So these are for down the road. We'll see, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to do those. Yeah.
This is another fun question. So, what is your favorite snack and beverage while you're writing?
All right. So I start with coffee, and then I move on to chai tea. Love chai and water. Snack. I'm trying to stop on the snacks because like I'm sitting down a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not really agreeing with,
Makes it hard.
trying to move on to apples because otherwise it was, I spent this winter on chocolate and nuts and anyway.
Yeah. So you're gonna switch up your snacking.
I'm trying. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a moment that you can recall during your writing journey where you felt really
Yep, tough questions.
free?
Honestly, if I think about it, there was not a specific moment, but as we're talking now, I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty proud of myself, pretty proud of what I accomplished. It's only 2025, and I made this decision in 2020, and I have 4 books out today.
Yes. Good.
Today, I'm pretty proud.
You should be. So do you feel like writing energizes you or does it make you tired?
Both. I really need it. I am cranky if I don't write, but I'm exhausted if I write a lot or when I write a lot. So it's both necessary and also I need to pace myself. If I write a lot a certain day, then the next day I won't be as productive. But I really love to write. Like for me, I think it's a little bit of a therapy and an exercise. It's a lot of different things. It really impacts my mood a lot. Yeah.
I would imagine so. So when you're writing, is there like a certain chapter or scene or word count that you aim towards every day to keep you on track, or just you kind of just see how you feel?
I aim for a certain number of hours depending on what the rest of my life is looking like. Right now, I'm aiming for 5 hours of actual writing every day, not counting the marketing, etc. And that is more efficient for me. It's a better way for me to look at things. And I'll have a spreadsheet if I'm not making enough progress. Then I'll start a spreadsheet while I'll record time in, time out, different sessions, and the total at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I can, without any exception, once I reach the 3 to 4 hour, I keep going and then my word count increases. So I also tally up my word count or the number of chapters edited. And the sooner I start in the day, the better I do, the more hours, obviously, the better the output. But it's not, like the graph goes like that, right? My first hour could be like just 200 words, but at hour 5, I could be at 4,000 words, right? Or more. Because I've started early and this is where my brain is and this is what we're doing today.
Yeah. So what's the highest amount of like a word count or a successful in your mind day? What does that look like for you?
It's all over the map. It's all over the map. And then sometimes I feel like I make progress just by editing something. And I use Scrivener and I'll have a negative word count that day. And I'm like, wait a minute, this was like the manuscript is much better now than it was before. Yeah. Although I do look at my word count or the number of chapters edited, actually number of chapters edited could result in a negative word count, right? I kind of like, if it's my first draft, obviously I'm going to look at word count. And I have never really broken much above 5,000 words a day. And that's not consistent every day. So that's something that I need to practice and get better at. But I feel like yeah, I mean, the words have to be good because, like, what are you, if you do 6,000 words and they're trash or you're just typing just to get a word count, like for me, it doesn't really help me. I'd rather just stop and then look at, like, is there enough emotion? Are the characters really thinking? Like, are we getting deep into the characters? And that can take a lot of time, but it could result in a better page or two, a better chapter.
Yeah, I can see that. So is there anything, if you could go into a time machine and talk to your younger writing self, would you tell yourself anything knowing what you know now?
I would tell my younger non-writing self to start writing because there's no reason to wait that long. And then I think probably when you're younger or when I was younger, I was very self-conscious. So that's something that's hard. It's hard to fight, right? But I think a lot of the confidence in writing comes from not being self-conscious and being okay with putting out something in the world that's not perfect and that some people are going to say they didn't like it, and that's okay. It's not for them.
Yeah. It's not their cup of tea. It's nothing to do with you or your writing. That's how I always like, I don't know. Sometimes people write stuff. I'm like, you're not nice. Like, just move on. You don't need to say anything. Like, don't say anything. Just move on. But So do you feel like you have a writing kryptonite? Anything that will like derail your process?
If I have a cocktail the night before, that day's not gonna be great. That's what I can think about right now.
Yeah. Oh, I could see that if you're just, your mood has so much, I think, probably to do with
Yes.
writing.
Actually, when I do that spreadsheet to record my writing time and keeping me on track, I also have a column where I put comments.
Hmm.
And then, if I had a bad day the day before or an argument with somebody or something bad happened or whatever, definitely the word count is down.
Yeah. Yeah. It's writing comes from your soul. So if there's any kind of dysregulation in your soul, it'll change your output, I think, for sure.
Absolutely.
Have you ever dealt with writer's block?
Not really. When that has happened, or when I'm staring at a blank page, I just literally start writing. What am I writing about today? And then it's like somebody pushing the car. Like the car isn't doing anything, but the car is rolling and the engine just starts. That's how it works for me.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was who said, "Oh, people tell you they wait till inspiration to strike, and I just sit down at my chair and make sure inspiration strikes at 9 a.m. every morning."
Yeah, you strike the match and make it.
It's just, yes. It just, even if what you write ends up not being in the manuscript, it's okay. You got it started.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a good mantra to go by to keep you motivated or moving.
Right.
Are there any events that you're going to be at, or any places where they can see you locally?
Not yet. No, I think I'm on a wait list for, what's it called, the Philly one.
Okay.
We'll see what happens. They only answer if you're in, and they haven't answered, so I'm not.
Okay.
But because the sign up is very early on, sometimes things happen and they drop off. So I have no idea. So my answer is I don't know. Probably not.
I'll leave the information below about where they can find you to follow you, so that if it does become available, that they can find that info.
Yeah.
And go check out your booth and see you and talk to you. So I thought we could do a fun little game of this or that, if you're up for it.
Sure.
Okay, so the first one is, would you rather a physical book, an audiobook, or an ebook?
Ebook.
Okay. Would you rather crack the spine of a paperback or ruin the hardback's dust jacket?
Ooh, that one's tough.
Yeah.
I guess ruin the dust jacket.
Dust jacket.
You always have the, yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible. These are terrible crimes.
There was one author, she's like, "You're mean." I'm like, "I'm just asking, like, it's not, I don't want you to actually do it. I'm just, if you had to choose, which would you choose?"
I want to think on that tonight. I can't fall asleep at night. I think about this 1,000 things. I bet you that's going to be on the list. Really?
I really do. Would I do that? So that's a fun one, I think, at least. Would you rather have dinner with your favorite character, and it could be any character, a character you've written or one that you've loved from another book, or your favorite author?
Oh, favorite author.
Yeah?
Yeah, because they contain all the characters, right? Yes. So, and then we would, and don't ask me who my favorite author is, because I don't have a favorite. My favorite author of the moment.
Who's the favorite author of the moment, then?
At the moment, I'm going to say Kennedy Ryan, but I cannot read her anymore because she impacts me so much. I can't write when I read her.
Oh, yeah. Emotional trauma. Yes. I know what you mean. Yes, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, that's a good one. That would be fun to have dinner with her and
yes.
Brain. That would be fun. So what about, would you rather a romantic suspense or a rom-com?
It depends. I'm not attached to either. Right now, maybe a romantic suspense, a little bit of thrill and mystery.
Yeah. And then this is another one that's kind of painful. Would you rather reread your least favorite book every month or never read your favorite book again?
I would rather never read my favorite book again. Yeah, because I don't want to reread that. That's not happening.
Yeah.
I don't even know which one it is. Probably one that I DNF'd. I don't know. If somebody knew, I wouldn't want to be tortured with that.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't either. I would hang on to my memories of my favorite book and replay them in my mind.
Yeah.
And not have to do the other. Would you rather read a book first or see the movie first?
I prefer to see the movie first, because this way the visuals are pre whatever. pre-implanted in my brain, and then I read the story and it's much better and it's deeper and I have the visuals there,
Yeah.
because otherwise you're always disappointed with the movie. So
Yes, I agree with that. So would you prefer a sunny day or a rainy day?
depends what I'm doing. If I'm going to be writing, I would love a rainy day. So, but I have to tell you, we've had so much rain in Vermont right now, like I cannot. So right now my answer is sunny. Ask me in August, I will tell you, please, can we please have some rain?
That's a good one. So we can just switch back and forth.
Yeah.
And then the
I'm not
last
really abiding by the rules, am I? I'm just like all over the place. I want both.
one is it changes. Yeah, it depends on your mood, I think. Just like with reading, like you could be a hardcore romance reader, but then all of a sudden be in the mood for a romantic suspense or a fantasy
Yeah.
book. Like it just
Yeah.
changes. So
Totally.
would you rather read a duology, a trilogy, or a standalone?
As long as the book is good. I mean, oh my God, another one of those non-answers. I need to choose something. As long as the book is good, and if it's a duology or a trilogy, as long as they're all out and I can binge read them. Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's hard when there's cliffhangers and you're like, how long do I have to wait until I find out what happens?
Yes.
So, yeah, I agree with that. For your characters, is there a certain character or couple that has you kind of really identify with the most or has really stuck with you the most?
No, I honestly, no. I'm sorry. I just like,
Yeah, they kind of all do. They kind of all stick with you.
yeah, they're, yes, yeah.
What is the most difficult thing do you feel about writing for you?
Right now, it's descriptions to give the reader like a good sense of the place
Okay.
without bogging it down, without, like the least words possible for the reader to have a sense of where we are and what the place looks like. Yeah, I think that's what it is right now.
And then as far as scenes go, what is the most difficult type of scene for you to write?
I don't know the answer to that. I just sometimes I look at a scene and I'm like, okay, I don't know, the most difficult. Maybe if there were to be an argument, or well, those they're fun too to write. I think scenes become difficult to write if you're not approaching them correctly. Like if there's actually nothing really interesting, it's just there to get from point A to point B, when you could just build a bridge and you don't need to write. Sorry, if you're going from A to C, nothing interesting happens in B. Let's just skip that. And I'm trying to think, maybe you're in the wrong POV character. Maybe you're forgetting the tension, or maybe what's happening is too easy. So I think that's kind of like it's kind of boring if there's no at least internal tension. And not that, I mean, my books are pretty low tension, but there needs to be a little something going on in the character's mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's, I don't know if that's a good answer, but
Yeah, it totally is.
like I don't have a type of scene that I'm like, oh my God, now I have to write this scene.
It's just more the external factors around the scenes that you're writing, if it's a difficult one or an easier one.
Yeah. And I don't write, I have friends sometimes like, oh my God, I have to kill off this character and have to write that scene. And it's going to be horrible and I'm going to be crying. I don't write those types of scenes. So I don't have those scenes where I'm going to be emotionally devastated.
Yeah.
So
that is too.
Yes.
Is it difficult writing in the opposite sex POV?
Not for me, but I don't know if I get it right. Maybe I'm just totally imagining what the guy thinks. And honestly, most of my readers are female. And so I kind of feel like even if I don't really get the guy's psyche right, I'm hoping I get it right for what the female reader hopes that the guy is thinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No,
Although my husband has read all my books, and I think he would tell me if I got it totally wrong. Like, he would probably be not. I don't know. I would hope so. Maybe it's just being too nice.
Is there a certain type of scene you really enjoy writing? Is it the banter, or is it the meet cute?
I kind of, honestly, these are hard. I want to say the sex scenes are hard, but I also enjoy writing them because they really bring I like to get into the character's deep emotional connection, and I feel like the sex scenes help that. So your question was which
your favorite types of scenes to write. So the intimate
Favorite.
scenes would probably be.
They're not my favorite, but they're the ones that I feel like elevate the whole book
Huh?
or make it, to me, they are the most, I think they are the most fun to write. Not all of them, but like the first real intimate scene can be really fun and rewarding for, yeah. What else? In Friends Will Kiss, I really had a lot of fun writing the scenes. I don't want to give it out, but where there's a group here that thinks something's happening, and then there's a group there that doesn't know. And so I have all these, it's like a double screen type of thing that
Yeah.
I wrote. And that was so much fun. And people are confused, or people just know part of what's going on and not everything. And the reader gets to see the two.
Oh, I love that.
That was a lot of fun for me to write. Yeah, that was, yeah.
In your opinion, what makes a great story?
A great story is one that stays with you after you've read it. And it's going to be different for every reader. It's going to be different for every stage of your life. There might be a book right now that doesn't resonate with you, and then you pick it up in 6 months and it's really the book that you needed at that time. So that for me is a great story. I don't know how to define it other than the impact that it has on the reader. And yeah, that is, it could be anything. It's going to be different things for each reader. Yeah.
So for you, when you're going to look at a book and you've read it, and the telltale that you've enjoyed is it left something with you and it impacted you in some way.
Yeah, I keep thinking about it. So the story is real. It exists. It's if it's only in my psyche, it exists.
So who has been your favorite character to write out of your characters? Has there been one that you really highly enjoyed writing and spending time with?
I think I liked maybe because it was a whole discovery for me, but my first main male character, Christopher the baker, he's a single dad. He's struggling with his bakery and he has all these confusing emotions for his new apprentice. It could be because it was the first male character that I wrote from his POV, really. That might be why his name comes as an answer to your question, but I can relate as a parent, as a small business owner. Yeah. And yeah, maybe he was
So when you're writing your writing space, what are some things that you always have to have? Obviously your computer, or that kind of thing, but what are things that are a crucial thing for you to have around you when you're writing?
I have a glass of water, tea or coffee, and then I'll have a candle, but right now it's getting too hot. I don't really have an office. I have a crawl space. I don't know if you can tell. So it's under a skylight, gets really hot. I have one of those things that you put for the cars in the windshield because the sun hits it. So if I light a candle now, I'm going to get way too hot. But otherwise in the winter, I love to have a candle on. And that's it, because I really I'm in the zone. So it's not that it doesn't matter what's around me, but I don't see it anymore. I have my headsets on, my focus music, or no sound at all, and I'm just in the zone. I'm in Emerald Creek with my characters and we're doing this. So the world kind of disappears.
So is Emerald Creek a made up town, or is it a real town, or
it's made up?
It's made up. And what sparked the idea for that name for you?
Oh, for the name? I don't remember. I don't know. I can't remember. I wanted the double name, and I wanted nature element, so it was going to be river or lake or whatever. And then I guess I kind of brainstormed, made sure it didn't exist already. So funny story. From the beginning, I've had Emerald Lake because I wanted to write. There's a resort in Emerald Lake, so Emerald Creek has a lake. It's called Emerald Lake, and Aussie Silver is coming out with Emerald Lake, so I'm like, okay, well, there goes that name. That's all right. It's not that original. It was bound to happen. Yeah. So I don't remember why I picked Emerald. Maybe, I think because of Vermont is the Green Mountains, and so I probably was brainstorming that. This was a while ago, let's not forget. So I was probably brainstorming, I'm pretty sure that's how it came about, brainstorming ideas around the color green and what it could be. Yeah. Yeah.
Have you enjoyed the process of making your covers and working with the artist that designs them, or do you design them, or how's that process for you?
I do not design them. I use a cover designer, and now I am actually brainstorming going into a different direction with the covers for the rest of the series. And if those covers really work well, then I might recover the first 4 books.
Mhm.
We'll see.
Do you enjoy that process, the creative side of
I
going
find
back?
it hard. I find it really hard because I feel like I'm not, actually, it's not, I am a visual person, but it's hard for me to express what I want. And honestly, in terms of covers, I know what I don't like, but I'm not sure what I like. And so, but I know it when I see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's more of getting that inspiration and then having it in front of you to say, oh, that's right, or not so right. This needs to be.
Yeah. So right now I have the couple covers, and the designer who did them did a beautiful job. But I want to try something different. So we'll see. It's too early right now to talk about it, but I have 2 directions that are equally exciting. So
On Instagram so you can see
yeah.
them when she does cover reveals, because those are
Yeah.
always fun. I love the cover reveals. Gives away so much about the story and the characters, and it just
Yeah.
is exciting. So, how long does it take you usually from like when you start the book till we get it to finish it?
It's way too long. But I'm not only working on the one book. So this book I started in January, and I'm planning on it being out in September, because it's use a developmental editor, then I use a copy editor, and then in the middle I'm editing another book. So it just takes a while. Yeah. I wish I could just whip them.
So,
Yeah. Also, my books are long, so everything takes longer, and all the subplots. And then when something has to change drastically, everything is, I have to review like 60 chapters, and yeah, so it's a lot, but
how do you do that? I would get
I
so
don't either.
overwhelmed. I would be so overwhelmed, like trying to figure out where, and then going in this way and weaving it back in. Oh, it would be hard.
It's hard, yeah.
What's the most surprising thing you've learned on your writing journey?
Huh, most surprising. Meditation is great.
Keeping your
Yeah.
head space clear and
Yeah. Yeah.
see how that would help, especially, I don't know, in your mind when you're writing, is it like those bubble graphs we did at school, like where it's just all chaotic and trying to, you know, fine tune it into what you want to put out?
Yeah, probably. Not really though, because every day is more focused on like, okay, these are X number of scenes that need to happen, except when I'm in editing mode. But if I'm writing, it's like, okay, we need to go. They're here. They were here last night. I need to bring them there. So there's like the focus is already there anyway. So it's not too, but the meditation, I have a couple meditations that I listen to that are helpful in terms of your creativity and letting go of blocks and being okay with where the creative process takes you. And that really fits well with my pantser kind of nature.
Yeah.
So
That's good. That's a good process to have. And you take it very, even though it's fun for you, you're very diligent in your process so that you're able to keep your creativity on a timeline.
yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. I took the Becca Syme Write Better Faster class, and I follow her. I'm on the micro coaching with her coaches. And that has really helped me a lot in terms of accepting how I create. And so now that I know that, that's why also that spreadsheet that I keep helps me, because I can see what helped me, what didn't help me. And the Becca Syme system, the Gallup strengths also help me see and accept the way that I write and make it okay. It's different from anybody else because it's a unique combination of strengths and my own experience. And those meditation apps are just there to confirm and kind of validate that what I'm writing is, or my process is fine, is good, and I need to accept it. Yeah.
So I have 2 more questions. My first one is, this one's kind of another fun question, but is there something unique or quirky about you that we maybe don't know?
I don't.
Or a hobby that you do that you enjoy?
I do. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's, I don't know, quirky. No, I'm a pretty, not boring, but I live in Vermont, so I love to hike. I love to ski. I also love to cook. So pretty boring, but yeah.
Do you like baking more, or is it just straight cooking, more cooking?
No, I like both. I like to just like when we come back from vacation, I just run into the kitchen and I like to make food.
Yeah.
So I just like that. The kind of being in the kitchen and making food. Depends what's in the fridge. I don't, yeah.
Like your love language, you share, make a meal and share.
Probably. I think food is probably my love language. Yeah.
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 So my last question for you is, what message do you want readers to take away from after reading your book?
Probably what permeates my books is that people assume that others think a certain way, and often the lack of communication is what creates the problems, but not in terms of misunderstanding. I mean, I have some of those in my books, but more in terms of you think somebody thinks something about you, but really they don't, and you're constructing this whole belief around yourself and raising walls around yourself because you think people think or feel certain things about you, and they don't necessarily. So I think the message is about being more vulnerable and being more open. Honestly, I'm not sure I really have a message. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that would be, or like you said, where it leaves you with something, like you said, when you were reading something that you want it to have
Yeah.
it.
But I think in most of my books, yeah, that's what it is. It's really people are assuming things about others that are often very wrong.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah.
I like that. Well, thank you so much for coming on today. I had a lovely time chatting with you. And please forward this to any of your book friends out there that like romance, small town romance, and definitely series where you have couples showing back up. That's the ones I love to read. That's my favorite, when it's like a universe and then you keep seeing the same couples that had their happy endings and you see new ones and you're
Yes.
kind of seeing their growth and progression long after. So I enjoy that. So definitely check it out. I've linked all of her information below on where to find her and her books. So be sure to check that out. And they're on Kindle Unlimited.
Yes, they are.
So you
Yeah.
can find them there. So thank you so much for joining me today. It was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for having me. It was great.
And
Thank
join me
you.
next time as we get another look behind the book.
Bye.